Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live FB of Martin T.F. Wong in here. And tonight, with our Trade VSAs being sponsoring in here, we will talk about the rubber glove sector update. What's really happened to the rubber glove sector? People were having such great high expectation. I do know people who make tons and tons of money, meaning millions, and manage to sell it at high. But at the same time, there are some unfortunate one did buy it at high and now hold a big position and don't know what to do with it. So we're going to examine all the facts. We will look at the chart, we look at the opinion, and we will look at and draw some little bit of conclusion what we have about the market. So at the end of it, you will get some educational value out of it, whether you want to buy, you want to hold, or you want to sell now, right? And at the end of it, it's always said before, it's always going to be somewhat of a lesson learned around it in here. So really thank you for where we are so far. Thank you for all your support. And let's move on. Okay, now don't forget to join our Telegram chat room. This is how we are able to communicate to you all our daily news and educational tips, lesson learned and all this. So do spread these good words, especially it's a season of giving and sharing in the Christmas period. Do share our Telegram information with your friends and introduce them to the many facets of the market. All right, so as I said before, Christmas come early, Santa come early. Now we want to hear your voice about Smart Robie, and we are giving you 300 free credit. We have always said that before. Some people are running out of credit and they say, any way I can, get more credit. This is definitely one. So what you need to do is to go over to the Facebook page in Martin T.F. Wong and like and review us in 30 minutes, and then to claim your 300 free credit, which is value at 30 ringgit. And snapshot your Smart Robie profile and WhatsApp to us. That's all. And if you are selected one of the top 5, you will get additional 500 credit and a one-day course, which you are planning in some way in January or February. So that is a Santa early Christmas giveaway. So make sure you know that, and we're going to give you a QR code. If not, if you are already in Martin TF have done so, we really thank you and really appreciate that. But let's move on with what we have for you tonight. Now, remember this talk that I did on the green energy talk. Now, how many of you attended that green energy talk? If you have, just type E or type energy. Okay, just type E or type energy. Just so you know how many attended that talk on the 25th of November. It was sometime because last week we did do our master class for those members who came, and they really benefited as we explore the US market. That's right. And one of the, now those of you who have came for that one, I think you've done pretty well, and these were the results that we've seen. Samadian has gone up about 11%, but check it out, only 28th of November, SL West since the top has gone up by 42%, MRCB just 2% short, and also CY Park 11.5%. So great. So that's why we talk about good benefits, really, coming to you. If you did not buy anyone, no problem. I think that's not the whole key question. The key question in here, whether you buy or don't buy, is irrelevant. It's about getting your mind to open. I think that's very important now, opening your mind and understanding, what are the issues we talk about, and really to bring you up into speed, especially going forward with the Trade VSA being focused on both fundamental for all the macroeconomics as well as market timing using volume spread analysis. That's always been my desire to bring in this educational value to all of you. And those of you who already typed in E, great, right? You can see that some of the talks we have done so. Okay, and also a lot of our talks are archived in the YouTube in here. If you have not, definitely you want to subscribe to it, and then you're not going to miss any of our YouTube. So continue to subscribe and you get many, and we cover many topics. We cover the plastics, we cover the EMS, the Dyson, and we cover the plantation, we cover the e-commerce player, we cover the glove, and definitely tonight is an update of what we have for you right now. And those of you who've been following me, also thank you for the breakfast show like the one I did this morning at 9:30, the stock trade idea. And the facets of it has always been educational. We want to drive some educational value to you. So Monday are our special topics that we focus on the beginning level. If you are sort of beginner, then you want to join us on Monday every 10:15 on Smart Robie. Then we focus on trading plan. Intermediate is on Wednesday, and then Friday it's the advanced period. So we look at different aspects of different stock pick all right, from it. And if you look at the result that we have, of course, on the background of a very bullish market, and a lot of the stocks that we picked, just like what we did early on with SL West and Samadia, all the energy sectors, DLIM has gone up. No doubt today there's some news about MACC on DLIM. They will see some pullback, but we already have 30% in the money. Muda Jaya about 12%, Maybao 56%, then Denko -3%, Air Asia, My News, and also Leong Hap, the egg maker, started to move up. You notice we didn't pick any rubber glove, right? And why did we do that? Because we have and that's why we always want to make sure that the market continue to move in the tandem that we're going. All right, so let's look at what we have for you meanwhile. Okay, of course we need to know a bit what's happening to the country, isn't it, right? We all know budget 2021 was passed through after many rounds of ding dong left here, ding dong right, and the vote, I understand, was 110 to 108. So that is already behind us. I hope that is already behind us. Then we can really move forward. But so what does that mean in a stock market context? Whatever I talk here, whatever I say here, is always been what we see in the market, on the newspaper, what the context of the stock market. That's what I'm good for. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to share with you the stock market lesson learned. That's right. I know there's a lot of life lessons. Sometimes I share a little bit of my holiday. Those of you who know, I just came back from Ipoh Mari, and it was a nice, enjoyable. I think this weekend even more people. I heard some people are taking off balik kampung, or they're going up to Ipoh and Penang. And if you do drive very carefully too. All right, because we still want to see you next year and make sure nothing happened and everything fine. Okay, but all being said, so the stock market continued to resume and to test back 1700, and what we like to see to test this definitely for the first time. But I personally believe that this market will touch 1700 and then pull back a bit. It will not cross over to 31st, before 31st of December. 1700 is that level, which means our market is considered one of the best performing in ASEAN country, maybe about 4 or 5% in here, and partly because thanks to the budget, like it or not, being the opposition and really stifling the economy. This is what we have seen so far. Now remember, 1 month ago too, everyone was talking about the capital gain tax, isn't it, right? But that did not materialize. So that's why the lesson tonight really want to share on is things that you hear, things that you read, and do not be misled. It's important to look at perspective, what Richard Wyckoff once always shared before, with me before. Erica, I'm not able to comment some of the stocks tonight, that's for sure, because tonight we're going to focus on the rubber glove. All right, if you want to look at LuxChem, just key in Smart Robie. All right, I know some of you key in the comment in there. Thank you very much. So we will continue. Now, having said that, we really have to look at perspective, whether you read the Edge or you read the Star Business. And like it or not, what I try to do in this show is try to clarify some of the news that you see by looking at the charts. As I said before in here, the capital gain tax debate, which everyone was talking about 1 month ago, it didn't materialize, remember? Right, they even talk about the windfall tax, remember? On the rubber glove, it did not materialize. So why do the people talk about it? Is this the work of the smart money? Maybe. So that's why I want to share with you. So here is about a really good example that not to fear or hear any rumor which is started by the media. Now why do media do that? Simply because they want your attention, and they had gotten your attention by a headline that you see like this: the capital gain tax debate. So when you see that, you should read, isn't it? And that's what usually really happen. All right, so that's why it's important to pay notice of this one. Now let's roll back a bit of time, okay, where we were. All right, of course, before the market run, we want to pick up a time where the market is the hottest. If early on, no problem, Pentagon will pick it up, right? So there was really a roller coaster ride for gloves going forward and in, and some say it will go 110, and then some say won't, and this was on 19th of October. That was the biggest hitters debate. It's something that I pull out from my old files just for you, this update, yeah? So you can look at the rubber glove, continue to fight here and fight there, and there was somewhere here, then TopGlove approved a 2-for-1 bonus issue, and everybody wanted to jump in. That was the best time to go in. And there were talk about windfall tax, not consulted, purely speculation, and that is where we get all this timeline. So we want to see back in perspective, what did this do to us? Because a lot of time we being trader, now remember this morning I talked about being an educated trader and an educated investor. It's also good to have research, well-researched material to be perspective to where you see and how. So this is what we talk about in here. So then if you look back earlier in June, right, earlier in June, of course, there's my screen is blocking. They talk about the ASP. You all know what is ASP for the rubber glove context? I'm sure you know, right? ASP stands for average selling price. So that was somewhere in June where the news first came out, and they talk about the gain by analysts saying that, wow, this is going to go high rocket up, and they're talking about $100. Right now it's about $100 ASP per 1,000, $100 for 1,000 pieces in here because of the big demand in there. Then vaccine came. We will talk about vaccines. So there was a big expectation that was building up in June. At that time, a lot of people silang and hantam here. This is June. Now, why I want to show you this important timeline is how the campaign, the smart money campaign to lure you in. All right, very important. Okay, then why? Be careful of the good news. Now, Tom always share with me, when you see good news, you must be very, very careful, because in the context of the smart money, they lure you in, they want to sell to the public. Now, many of you who've been following me and listening, I think having said that, you are in good hands. But the fact that this is important too, you can see way back, okay, let me just bring up a laser pointer here. Right, you can see from here onwards going up, they were talking about the average selling price, which is skyrocketing, usually around the $30 per 1,000 pieces. Now it's gone up to 100 to 110. And remember, you have to wait almost 390 lead days. So people are willing to pay up just to get away from the long waiting list, because they need it. People are dying. You can see US is already 303,000 people dying, more than 1.7 million, close to 1.7 million people in fact. And yet in Malaysia, today, we haven't broke back yet to sing a double digit. The best we did was around, what, 820 something, 620. Right now, we're around 1,200. My big concern is if we break above 2,000. If we break above 2,000, and right now, the CMCO has been lifted, I'm going holiday, you are going holiday, the Christmas is here, everybody is getting to meet each other, everybody balik kampung, and that's really the big concern is. So on top of this, you think carefully, will there be a reduction in the glove? Maybe not. All right, but let's examine the fact here in here. Now, then we go fast forward. But the truth is, in December, now remember in June, everybody was talking about the ASP, how the ASP prices is going to go rocket up, isn't it, right? But then that was in June. Then 6 months only, all right? In reality, this was reported by Hartalega in their report, one of the analyst report that I managed to get hold, talk about the truth of the ASP. Actually, ASP not going up, ASP coming down. So you can see between the analyst and also the owner, the stakeholder, in this case Hartalega, they present different facts. It's just up to the analyst to interpret whether it is in their favor or not their favor. Now you see where I'm coming from, right? So why? Because when I first started analyzing all this, we look at analyst report. Sometimes we say analyst what no good. Some are good, some are not so good. So you need to know, because there is what we call a hidden agenda. Really, a hidden agenda for them. Again, it's not for you, because you are part of the pawn. All right, you're part of the pawn. You are part of the game. So this is used in them to lure them in. So what we're trying to say, this is important. So having said that, now you think very carefully, is this by design or by chance? Now, early on, they talk about the ASP going up, right, in June. We mean the average selling price of all the rubber gloves is going to go up. And then in December, now actually the ASP price is actually coming down. So what is the truth? Is this by design or by chance? What do you think? Just type it in there, right? By chance or by design, right? Very likely you will agree with me. This is by design. That's right. It's designed to lure everybody in. Now, if you look in terms of where the market is, let me just show you in here. That was also in August when the news came out, where it was the hottest. You can see on 24th of August, that's where the weekly Pentagon actually activated red, mean sell. And that was a good time. People were buying, and there was distribution, because we see the red Pentagon, and red Pentagon was triggered to warn members. That's right, it was warning the members. And if you have followed the Pentagon much earlier on, right, you could have made 400%, but we don't talk about 400, we talk about 30% first. Okay, 30 and 40%. That is for the TopGlove here. And then if you look at the Hartalega on the left side of the screen, at least you made 220%. So that's why sometimes what we want to train you to do is to pay attention to charts, pay attention to price and volume. Don't pay attention to opinion of other people. Lesson number 1. All right. Let's go on to the next one. Now, Tom always said, right, like, number 1, what I've learned from you, you've always been misled by the media and what he called a diet of information. Just like makan, we eat breakfast, nasi lemak, then we eat char kway teow lunchtime, then we eat chicken chop at night. So these are what we call a diet of information. We get this a lot. Right now, even like it Toro, we got Facebook lah, we got a lot of the blogger lah, then we got our WhatsApp lah, we got our Telegram lah. So if you are beginner, you are also what we call become overweight because too much consumption of the diet information, and it is designed to lure unsuspected investor. And make no mistakes, if you are beginner, I understand your predicament and where you're coming from. So many people tell me, so many seafood also want to tell me, isn't it? This seafood tell me that, that seafood tell me that, Martin also tell me that, I blurred it. So you know, all this information, all this diet information, what do you do with them? So the best thing I always said before, in our context of the trade VSA is always education, right? It's the best protection against misinformation. And what Tom always shared with me, the father of volume spread analysis, he said that learn to read the chart. My friend, learn to read the chart. People lies, chart don't lie. And on again. And that is very, very true. All right? Okay. So if you are a newbie, okay, so what can a newbie do? Okay, with the situation like what I have now, I have a rubber glove store, I too much silent. What should I do? All right. So what we are trying to say is that Tom told me, well, formalize your education. All right. Make it as what we said this morning, a commitment. Just like people want to lose weight, people want to become leaner, eating healthier, become a educated investor or educated trader. Formalize it and learn to read the market, learn to read the chart, and not to listen to people's opinion. It's good to listen to opinion, but back that to the chart, right? That is the first thing. Because today, let me just share with you, all right? Today's news, again, it's another opinion, right? This is earlier in November, or earlier we have 28 TopGlove factory closed down, right? Because of COVID. Then we have Hartalega closed down, okay? Not closed down, partially closed down because 35. And just now, 2 hours ago, Kossan kena. Then later on SuperMax kena one. So it's all the factory kena. Then there are even some of the smaller one packaging. So any company in Malaysia got factory worker show kena one. The only question whether go on reporting or not. Now this was just 2 hours ago. Kossan, if you just check the news, it will be here. So it is on and really growing this problem in here. So what does it mean? It means that will the rubber glove go down? Maybe. We have to look at the charts, right? Again, these are all opinion. So let's look now. So you notice what this picture is? Anybody can tell me? What is this picture? What is this picture? Okay, this is a picture of a bomb being dropped, isn't it? Not so good, right? Not so good, isn't it? Okay, so this is what happened. Boom, a big bomb just dropped, okay? And the big bomb was JP Morgan, downgraded the rubber glove, okay? Game over. And that's why we have this, massive sell down that we have, the big bomb and the half price. So if you notice the big bomb came, and guess what? Oh, so sorry. Let me just move this chart here so you can see better. Okay, and okay, let me just move this up a bit. You're able to see this? Okay. Okay. Let me try this again. Okay, the big bomb came, and guess what? They're given a fair price value. So TopGlove by JP Morgan said that, no, it's not $6 or $8, it's only 3 ringgit 50 cents now. So people get worried, isn't it? Right? I think you've seen this one before, right? Then we have the Hartalega $8.50. Right now the price is $12. What? $8.50 got more to go, isn't it? Then Kossan, fair price is 3 ringgit 80 cents. And that's $5. Some people say it's stupid. You know, all these future foreign house analysts, what they know about our country. But anyway, the two guys who wrote it are actually our local Malaysians, all right? They could be Singaporeans. I checked their name. They were both Chinese, but not sure whether. I think they could be based off in Singapore. But later on, they came out and re-emphasizes that these are conservative opinion. But like it or not, just like the bomb being dropped, damage has been done. Am I correct now? And so that's why a lot of panic people out there. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring in some of these facts and to show with you, right? Clarity is most important when it comes to having a little bit of investment like this. So you see in here that the bomb exploded, right? We got this JP Morgan up the downgrade, and everybody is saying, hey, is this true or not? So what has happened in here? So let's move on to before some next thing in here. So definitely, if you look from a standpoint, JP Morgan has a stake on the glove. If you see from here, one of our portfolio in here, it has 9.6% of TopGlove. And then it has Hartalega 6.8%, right? So 9 plus 6 is almost 15% of it. So like it or not, they have a stake in there. And it is in their fiduciary duty to tell the truth. And this is good. I really like it, but it's just that the manner when it was told and the valuation, you know, why the local analyst is giving so high and why you're giving so cheap. Is there an agenda? There's always a question, is there an agenda to push the price down so some people will benefit? We will have to look at the charts. Okay, we will look at the charts after this. So in here, so right now, so you can see, let's look at JP Morgan, past track record. What has been their so-called track record? You look at track record, this was way back in 2008, and you can see they raised the all prices forecast to $70. So at that time, in 2018, you can see, let me just show you here first, okay? Let me just bring this up. So if you look back, this was at that January 22nd. Now that was around $66 in here. Now why I bring this up? Because I want to know how good JP Morgan. I know this is only a one sample, but it kind of gives you, you know, the flavor. You know, you don't have to test all the flavor. You can see here at 66, as soon as they make this forecast, the stock price actually fell below $60. So people say you bodo near JP Morgan. Cannot. Then 3 months down the road, okay, let me just get my pen here and write down. Pencil. So you can see immediately after that the market dropped, okay, from 66 dropped to 60 after 3 days, okay. Then it actually hit $70, okay, $70 in 3 months. But what they didn't know, in October, after hitting $70, the bugger straight all the way down. All the way down. So what it simply says, the prediction, the forecast has an expiration date to everything. So which means they make the forecast, things will change. We don't know yet. The market is very dynamic. So which means it is done its damage. It's like a big bomb. Drop already. But if you look at the past prediction, using all as an example, you will see the market react differently. So lesson here. It simply says that whatever they say really has no bearing in the future. They may be right in the short term. In this case, in 3 months, it did. But the question is, just now we talked about TopGlove going to be what, $3 something, Hartalega $8 something, right? It may go down, touch it, and then come back up again. Now, so that is the point. If it's going to come down and hit that minus 30%, lower from where we are, will you panic? That is my question in here. If you are going to panic, you're not going to sleep well. Because why? You did not plan properly. Which why I have to always talk about the educated trader. Educated trader just doesn't mean knowing how to buy and knowing how to sell your shares. It also means how to diversify your position sizing. Have you given some thought about those? This is very, very important because going forward, if 2021 is going to be a bullish year, and if you did not take the initiative to learn all this, you're going to be, how do I say, emotionally unbearable. Yes, so keep that in mind, right? So what having said that, though, so what they're trying to do now, the stakeholder, the big bomb has been dropped. Everybody is doing damage control. Like you can see this guy, right, trying to fix this thing. I'm trying to fix the damage now. So the first thing came out, CIMB just came out. Hey, you know, no problem. The Kuala say something, the JP Morgan, but we, Malaysian, still think that sector is still good. Hartalega and TopGlove, and buy some more of SuperMax and Kossan. So if you are an investor, you say, hey, after the damage drum, the CIMB fella, and the another analyst come out and do rescue. It's more like PR, isn't it? PR campaign, isn't it? So we as analysts, we become blur lah, you know, one say buy and one don't say buy. So at the end of the day, why are you doing this? There is a reason. So having said that, in my opinion, the analyst report really give no value at all. That's right. It doesn't give any value at all. It only gives confusion. Do you agree what I say? No, right? It's all right. So it's really, really confusing. Having said that, so more people, you will get confused in there. All right. I know some of you would have said that TopGlove is worth such and such, but we have always have to look at the valuation, which I'm going to go on to the next. So having said that, so what we want to do is going forward, and the next damage control, which is actually held by someone. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, right? And then analysts, another analyst, maintain a buy call on Hartalega. Now again, you can see very confusing. $23.80, no? Hartalega. Okay, of course, yeah, someone say ask the charts right in here. Then you have number two. The JP Morgan was $8.50, right? $8.50 in here, $23. So if you look at the average price, 24 plus 8, 32. So what? $16. Target price $16, right? Yeah, some people do that. 8.50. JP Morgan, BIMB 23.80. At that one is about $16.50. So that is the target price. Now it's $12. So I'll take profit at $16. All right. Can that be? Well, maybe workable, but let's look at the price. So in here, another damage control, which is done as number two, right, was by BIMB. Say that, look, everything looks still good. But I want to really examine the fact, and of course, number three, damage control is also the owner. Some of you may have known that the TopGlove chairman and Tropicana, Tan Sri Denny Tan, has mopped up a lot of the shares, okay, which is very close to where I'm staying here. In Tropicana in here, continue to buy and buy and buy. No, in my opinion, that is definitely not a good idea in the longer run. Of course, they will present different opinion to people in here. So let's look at where the stock is right now. So you can see the first tier, the TopGlove, the Hartalega and SuperMax, and since the red pentagon, right? Again, if you have followed the red pentagon, you'll be much better off. There was a green one in here, also have to cut. Hartalega hit $18, and when it fell was around 17 or 16. Now it's $12 in here. This was the big fall that we saw after the H-bomb drop by JP Morgan. I call it the JP Morgan H-bomb because it was a downgrade, and you can see SuperMax also impacted too. Let's look at the second tier, which is, many of you, I know I did not cover all of them. I apologize. Right? Some of you are Rubber Rags, Comfort LKL, and you can see that is also red pentagon already come out much earlier in here. But what's the lesson to learn? What can we do from here? I think that's very important. If I have any of my rubber glove, should I hold on or no? I'm going to come down to that. Okay, so very important. This was on the September 15. The chairman of Hartalega, he came in, look, the glove supply will not meet its demand in the next 3 years, and that's for the Hartalega chairman. No Tan Sri, no Dato. He's just a very humble, very wise person. I think many of you agree with me. Mr. Kwan here is a very rare. So that's the truth about the rubber glove. The demand is huge, despite what all those people are saying, and this, in his opinion, is a fact to him. So the question is, who do you trust, the analyst or the management? Right? Again, we always believe, from fundamental standpoint, we always want to believe in the credibility of management. As I said before, over and over again, any stock that you buy, you want to do that too. So right now, let's look at the other side. Okay, so in here you can see Dow Jones is really going higher. So what's happening to the rubber glove? Dow Jones is breaking and staying above 30K, and partly because of Apple, which came out by Nikkei, has another report. Again, opinion, market's really bullish. But you can see from the chart, we actually have a green pentagon. We have a no supply early on, before even this news. And those of you who don't know about no supply, take a look at the Apple chart on the no supply chart if you have TradingView. And those of you who have supported us and subscribed to our TradingView package, thank you very much. You were able to see the buy signal for Apple early before this news came out. Actually, I bought some already too. So that's really one of the benefit too. All right. So point is, the Dow Jones is staying above 30,000. most likely for 2021. Now, if you look from the, again, part of our package in here, you could see the Bursa really been buying. The foreign funds has been buying. It hit 6-month high and it sort of stops. Now, a lot of the institutional are coming in here. Now, the problem with this, if you don't see foreign fund coming in to buy, this 1700 is only temporarily. So that meaning, right, by January, okay, we need to see foreign funds coming. If the foreign fund don't come in, you can see this 1700 is going to taper down because the locals as well as the retail don't have the firepower and don't have the money to really hold on. Having said that, the selling has definitely reduced in here to less than 150 million, averaging at about 150 to 200 million. If you can get that below 100 million, so that's looking very, very good. So we want to see this week or next week some net buying foreign fund. If that is good, you will see likely 1700, right? It's the Bursa foreign fund flow is one of the features of our dashboard in here. If you have not got it, someone you want to take a look at it, okay? So let's look at what we have here next, right? Now next is the hot sector. Now if you notice the healthcare and the plantation is on the right hand side. Now the more red it is, the more bearish lah. But right now you can see energy, property, finance. So it is one of the key information that you must have to know which sector to move on to rotate. So if you can see that finance are doing well, property are doing well, and it's no mistake. And this week also you can see there has been an upgrade from the analyst to the property. They say that look, properties worries are all over and we are coming to a better group. So we use these tools, very important tools, to analyze which sector to shoot more, especially if you are a shorter term, right? You know, if not, you're going to be stuck with healthcare here, isn't it? So that's a perspective. Now why we always show you this chart is because as part of the educated investor and trader, we always talk about that. If that's the important chart, you need to know where is the fishes are swimming, correct, right? You only know one pond, rubber glove. Now I'm telling you there are more ponds out there, more sea for you to fish, right? Because if you are an educated investor, you need to open up your mind, see the opportunity, and this is a good start to know where the opportunity is, whether it is in the industrial sector, whether it is in the finance, and it's in the energy. And when you do that, you will never be stuck with the rubber glove sector. That's my message. All right. So again, the best equity to look at, and this from the US parents for the next 12 months going to 2021, is going to be this part of the world, Asia. Okay, US definitely has its own stake there, right? Which I'm very happy in because you got more fishes to go, right? And the emerging market is pretty good too. But right now, what we've seen so far, the sectors that are doing well are property, finance, and let me what's the other one? Okay, and energy. That's right, which is the oil and gas, because they're coming back. So meanwhile, we have this KLCI chart you can see here. If you had followed the green pentagon, which is way back on 18th of November, let me just bring out the laser pointer here. Okay, right, you have right this to 1660. So it's very important to pay attention to the green pentagon, the blue trend zone of the KLCI. I cannot stress this again. This is a time where it, and remember I've talked about the wash, the big wash, the chuchi. They will always chuchi first before they push up. And it is a classic move, what Tom shared with me before. Every market you'll see the chuchi come on. And a lot of people get trapped with that one. So this is something I've talked about a lot in our masterclass. And those of you who came, you know. And the KLCI right now is doing 1681, which is up 7 point in here. A couple of things on my mind, which is going to push back to December 20, which is, you know, just another 2 more weeks. Market likely to test 1700 tomorrow. The budget 21 is being approved. Now there are talk about parliament dissolved. Not yet. Once they start to talk, market will come back down again. And then the GE15, because this hasn't been solved. Temporarily they have solved this, but still the vote of no confidence will continue to be paid because the political situation in Malaysia is very liquid. Like the commentators say, very liquid. Anything can change. I never expect DAP and UMNO can work together in para. To me, I also shake my head. You'll shake your head, not right? Yeah. So that's the political situation that we see, and to me, I every day also shake my head because of the market dynamics. That's why I always say it's good to diversify to US market in here. Right now the bulls are back. The bulls are in town. Definitely if you have found and used the Smart Robie way back in 8th of November, Smart Robie with Smart Robie chart already informed you about the bull. Not now. Now it's more for the public one. All right. So again, part of our education things that we do here and so forth. Okay, now let's turn our attention to US too. Now if you look at US, again, around the same time, 8th of November, continue to go uptrend in here, and we have a couple of springs. Tonight, we will likely to see possible the breakout once the COVID-19 stimulus is been approved, because they're still talking about it. Donald Trump is the guy that you see on top of me in here, and he's sort of like, been voted out because the Electoral Vote College already certified Biden will be sworn in as the 46th president on 20th of January come year 2021. But Donald Trump, being what it is, will never admit his lose. That's part of his personality. Like it or not, he will squat the White House until he get kicked off. But that already been priced in. So as the market continue to move up, the COVID-19 stimulus, I think it's about 900 plus billion dollar, close to about 1 trillion. So that US market that you see right now is going to boom, boom, boom. It's going to fly. Right? Definitely some of the sectors we talk about in here. Now let's look at the vaccine news headline, because that's important. Now we all know that the Sino-China, Sino-WAC, all these are focusing in there, and they did the trial in Brazil and also in Saudi Arabia. Result came out not so good, so finally confirmed lah. China also now had to buy from the Kuailo, right? Their own kacang, we say their own equipment cannot do. Maybe can, but they need to rescue their people, isn't it? Maybe give it 6 months down the road, 9 months down the road. The Chinese are very good. They can build it. I'm sure they can. Look at Huawei. Look at Lenovo. They can do it. But in the shorter time frame, the Masali, the Westerns are much better. So right now, they have to buy that vaccine first. Probably they will do reverse engineering and so forth, right? So second news is that 1 out of 4 persons globally may not get COVID-19 until 2021, which means the herd immunity is not going to be there, right? Only 1 out of 4 may not get it. So which means herd immunity we're going to get until 2021. So this is important, because this 2 news will tell you that there is still demand for the rubber glove. So we have to look at the facts, okay? So the third one is that this is operational, what we call warp speed, courtesy of UOB Kay Hian Malaysia Research. And what it simply says that, no, during the operational warp speed, which was initiated by Donald Trump, talk about distributing COVID-19, and they did. I think this week was the first time, the first US citizen, which is in New York, a lady working as a frontline, being administer the vaccine, and there was a shot of him. So you can see the Pfizer and biotech 95% efficiency, Moderna 95, AstraZeneca is only 70, and I think for the Chinese one is definitely less than 70. They even don't dare to put it up, so end up they have to buy from BioNTech and Pfizer. And you can see this BioNTech and Pfizer, they use cold storage, so definitely KGB will benefit if they were to ship it in Malaysia. The other information you can see on the left hand side are other vaccine which will come in. Though no doubt these are the one that has sort of stocks has moved up. Johnson & Johnson are still on they're going to phase 3 trial in January and February. This coming January, February. So that will take a bit of time for them to come to. Okay, so what are the 4 major teams going for rubber glove? And remember, this is an important one. You can take a picture of this one in here. Number 1, right? And this is also in line with what the idea that was formulated from UOB Kay Hian Malaysia Research. The rubber glove, the perceive of the super cycle. Because what we talk about, the millions of people that is currently in danger, not getting it, and also the extension of the rubber glove being used by other industry. Now, bear in mind, in the post-pandemic world, some of the things we talk about, right? You're not going to get the herd immunity until 2021, which means the demand for rubber glove is still going to be there. So that's why we consider it's a super cycle. Number 2, the valuation right now, because of the reporting from TopGlove, we will see a lot of valuation as the PE normalizing. No longer they're about 100, they're coming down. So you can see Robie now rated TopGloves at 5 out of 8, which is actually an undervalued stock. That's why no people is buying. Correct not? So it's smart enough to actually pick it up. If you don't believe me, go over to Smart Robie and hit that one. I just checked just now. That's why I got 5. Higher earnings is expected. because we talk about the peak earnings in here. Now, they talk about the ASP. No doubt ASP right now is about 100 or 100 to 110 US dollar in there, but going forward it's going to taper down. But right now they are selling at 100 US dollars. So that will bring into the earnings to the first quarter. So that will be the peak earnings inside here. All right. So meaning in 5 or 6 months, this market will recover. If you do recover, that would be your exit. All right, you just need to wait for another 5 or 6 months here. Number 4, right? If you have not got into rubber glove and you want to buy some more, there is good potential by using the VSA timing method. This is what we talk about, buying at stage 1 accumulation and so forth. Okay, so the 4 theme I talk about in here. So let's look at the background behind what we talk about. The world demand is still good, just like I said before. We have millions of people are still using rubber glove. Now previously rubber glove, as I said before, is only used in healthcare, but right now it extended to travel, hospitality, and when you see air stewardess or steward, they start using rubber glove, which you will do when you take your next flight out, right? And in restaurants, if you go to McDonald's, KFCs, they're all using rubber glove. So there is a lot of usage in China. So you notice the growth of the rubber glove on the quarterly basis in here continue to go up a lot more. So that tells you, like it or not, the demand is still there. It's just that the bomb been dropped. Stock price bang down. But that is, like it or not, an opportunity. Okay, let's look at number 2. Okay, still number 1. Now, the chairman of Hartalega did say this. He said that, look, the demand is so great that, and no doubt there was a COVID which happened a day ago. They were partially shut down due to the COVID-19, but they can meet the demand with minimum interruption. That's very important. So the earnings will not be affected. So business is still good, right? And number 2, right? Who gets what and get what? Now this is what we call the other facts, 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. Let me just go through them. Now 2.2, the herd immunity cannot be achieved because just now the news already stated 1/3 of the world people will not get vaccine. Do you know if you are 16 and under, the CDC and the WHO don't recommend immunization against you. So if you are in a family and you happen to travel, okay, you happen to travel with your kids, 2 children, and you're going to get worried. Hey, I can get vaccine as a parent, but my children cannot get because below 16 in US they don't want. They say no. That's it's the current CDC recommendation. Of course, going forward 6 more months, if there are enough vaccine, maybe they allow. But right now it's not. So you want to travel, you may not be. All right. So transportation 2.2 and also storage in cold temperature. That is going to be a real challenge, especially this part of the world. In US and the Northern Hemisphere now is cold because it's winter time, so it's okay. But in Australia and this part, our tropical country, it's going to be a real challenge, and there will be damages, because of the temperature in here, and also the side effect of COVID-19. Now remember, the COVID-19 was approved emergency. Usually vaccine take about 4 years. Okay, 4 years to do this one very fast. This one I think they only started in March or maybe February when they got a sample of the vaccine somewhere in end January. Now November already got. Okay, so this is what we say. So those are the thing. Now sorry, let me just move this out of the way. Let me just do something in here. You can't see this. Okay. Now the other factor, which is the testing time, will definitely be the Olympics. They already announced the Olympics is still going ahead on 2020, which is in the summer 2021. So that will be really the acid test, the test whether COVID is going. Because if the Olympics were able to go through, then we will see return to normality. But no doubt the COVID will still be in the back of the mind. People will still be wearing gloves. That is my opinion. The acid test will just tell people it's time to travel, which means other sectors will return back to it. COVID will take, which is going to be happen also when in summer, is like that also coincide with the peak earning of the so which means 5 or 6 months. That is the time you want to travel. Okay, that's my message to you. Okay, 5 to 6 months from now. So you got 5 to 6 months to exit if you are stuck there. Right, so that's why at least you can move on, and that's what's the whole point here is to don't silang lah, don't silang inside there, then you'll be fine. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. So point number 3, all right, you must learn to buy on bad news. Because when no one wants it right now, it's a time to buy. Really. That's what Tom always shared before. And for those of you who didn't get any rubber glove and wanted to one, we recommend you to buy at stage 1 or right now at pullback. No. Just wait for the green pentagon, buy on spring, buy on test. Those are the things that you want to look at. Now, if you see where is the rubber glove right now, from the peak, we are at minus 38% and minus 30% in here. The volume hasn't been climatic yet, so we think that there may be a bit more room to drop. As I said before, just now on the JP Morgan forecast, it may hit 850, but it'll come back down very fast, just like the oil forecast. At 66, they say it's going to hit 70. It actually went down to $60. So people laugh at JP Morgan, but in 3 months' time, it actually hit up 77 and then come back down to minus $15. So you can see how the market dynamic is. So if you just purely looking at people's opinion, you'll be gila. The chart is the most important thing. It is your best protection against all these crazy people with funny opinion in there. All right. So having said that, right now there's some opinion. Form a trading plan if you want to buy. If you have not, so here's my message. If you have your stocks, you silang already. Okay. Don't average down, please. Don't average down. Look to get out in a 5 or 6 months time. You have this 5 to 6 month time frame so far, right? Demand are still there, like the chairman of Hartalega saying they could not meet demand. It's just that the big bomb, the H bomb, has been dropped off, but damage control has been done. All right, we have CIMB, we have BIMB coming back in saying, hey, this target price of the rubber glove is too low. For Hartalega is $23. Right now it's only 12. Don't worry, bro. Can go up some more. Right? This is what they're telling you in here. So again, the 4 major themes, I want to emphasize it again, right? Now, the rubber gloves is perceived as a super cycle. Meaning, if you want to buy a rubber glove, the super big earnings, the 400% if you buy on the green pentagon, at first when it first appeared, the 200% for Hartalega, you're not going to get it this time. You'll be happy to get 30%. Okay? Because, number 2, the reasonable valuation PE is normalizing as the EPS is coming in. People know the kind of earnings. Peak earning, second quarter 2021. That's the time to exit, bro. Okay? And right now, if you want to go in, market entry timing is at the right price. Use the VSA timing method. All right, in here. As such, we are doing our master course. Now, it's open for registration round for the February intake in here. And don't forget, next week, okay, next week, we will cancel our we will cancel our Wednesday night talk for our members. That's right. You know, sometimes we have to be fair lah. We do a lot of these free talks is to educate our member. But those of you who are joining our masterclass next Wednesday night, 8:30 to 11:30, we'll be doing our revision of our masterclass. So all our members, we're doing through Zoom inside here. As much as we really want to, you know, pay respect to all of you who have joined us, and we really want to educate those of you who really come on board, be part of masterclass, and really look at the market, what we share. Now, the information you have is good, but to take it to the next step, as what we say, educated investor, educated trader, formalizing your plan, and that's what we do in our masterclass. So next week, sorry ladies and gentlemen, no Wednesday night talk, we're doing for our members. So for our members who is listening now, please register to a Zoom link and join us on 8:30. We have a couple of good technique to share, and we're going to share with you one methodology that would make 100% return in the last 2 years. And going forward for 2021, we feel that it is possible maybe to make double-digit return on your portfolio. So we're going to share with you that methodology on the 23rd of December, which is something I promised on earlier to the master class. All right, so that's what we always say. Those of you who joined earlier from our master class, our course is always changing. New material, new discovery of methodology or training from our coaches and myself. We actually share that very willingly with our members, because we feel that, look, if you share, you actually make more. I think that's all about in life, just like we do here, sharing with you the information that you have, whether you have not bought rubber glove yet, you wanted to buy some rubber glove, or those of you already silang, you just have to wait 5 or 6 more months when the peak earnings come, and hopefully the price will go up a bit more. Okay, so Pentagon Guider, I think many of you heard that before. What we said is one of the best tools we have, and if you follow buying on green, selling on red Pentagon, you've done so much better. And VSA right now is very, very popular in here. Thank you. We're having a campaign to drive the recommendation. You can see those of you who watch this, please, thank you for all your good comments inside here. We have close to about 80 over people in here. And also, if you sign up for our February 2021, the Trade VSA sector screener for the US, it's going to be here. And we also have the Growth FA screener, which we're releasing. So we got a couple of things on mind. So those of you who are coming, it will be great for the US market in here too. All right. Now, my five prediction for today. This is my last slide for today. It's still ongoing, okay? Business recover will be a rotational rotation, which is important. That's why I use the Trade VSA. US market sell off, but it will continue to rally. COVID-19 cases will balloon. The demands are still there. The trade war will benefit, but we have to see the new negotiation on the second half of the year. And we have broken up new high, 1,700. Growth investing is critical for 2021. So for those of you who just joined us, if you want to claim your 300 credit, this is the QR code. I really appreciate if tonight you really know the information that we shared. The least you could do, just a small token of appreciation, just go over to our Smart Robie, click this QR code and give us a good review. Really, thank you very much. Thank you, Rosalie. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. And, we always do the best to help you. Excuse me. Do the best we can help you and make sure you make money as much as we do on ourselves and our member too. The market is bigger than all of us. All right. And I feel that when we share, we grow as a person, as a community, and also as an individual too. That is my take on here. So please, and if you've been selected, you will get additional 500 plus a one-day cost. So that's all we have for tonight. And for you first time, do join our Telegram in here. If you have any more questions regarding, we won't be reviewing any stocks. Zac can do that on the Friday night, or you can just ask Smart Robie in here. But I think more importantly is to give you the direction where we are going to. Whether you are holding the rubber glove, all right, you can exit in 5 more months, as I said before. There's still some time to go in. If you haven't bought it yet, this is a good time to. But don't average down, okay? Don't average down. If you have it, good enough. And for those of you who are willing to sell, there is a chance inside there. Thank you very much, and thank you for tonight. We keep it short for the information that we have. And remember, we're always here for you. And next week, 23rd of December, will be our masterclass revision. And those of you who are interested to join our next intake, registration is open for February 2021, and you can always attend our revision. Thank you again. Bye-bye.